Hey there! Welcome to my kitchen and to Seeing Beauty with Sandy Cloud. At Seeing Beauty, what we want to do is pay attention to the beauty that's all around us, ready to add so much to our lives. And today, we're going to talk about the beauty of creativity. And I'm excited to talk about this because the beauty of creativity is so connected to joy. And I want to encourage you, if you're not doing something creative, you want to get into it because you will find the joy. I want to tell you a story. I've been an artist for, seems like forever, but creativity isn't just for artists, it's for everybody. It doesn't really have a lot to do with talent, and it's not about being perfect. It's really about joy. Now, how do I know this? Well, one Sunday afternoon when my husband was out of town and I had two little ones down for a nap, I thought, yes, I've got some time to myself. So I got some fabric scraps and I started sewing. And I made 7 decorative pillows for my bed. And I just had such a good time. There was so much joy. And I thought for a minute and I thought, you know what? I bet God enjoyed creation. Enjoyed creation. And then He let us enjoy the act of creating so we could know a little bit more about His character. So think about, what would you like to do? What would be fun to do? And if you say, well, I don't know how, well, that's what kits are for. There are kits that will have the materials, the instructions, there are videos online. Just think about it. Maybe you want to be a quilter, maybe you want to paint, maybe you want to sculpt, maybe you want to throw pottery. You know what? Just painting a room is creative. Decorating a cake is creative. And all these things will bring you joy. And I've had so many people come up to me at art shows and say, oh, I used to paint, but I don't really have time, or I'd like to, but I'm not great at it. And I always say to them, but you enjoy it, don't you? And this big smile comes out and they say, yes, I do. So I want you to have that joy. So don't worry about not being perfect and don't worry about talent. Just worry about doing something that makes your heart happy. So now we're going to have a little bit of fun. Okay, we're going to do a simple project that makes really pretty little Christmas ornaments, and it's not just for adults. Children can have fun with this too, and it's certainly not too complicated. The only thing you'd want to watch out is make sure a child knows how to handle a glue gun, or you do it for them. But this is what all we needed is start with pine cones and sweet gum balls. Now the pine cones, the easy way, buy them at the craft store. The other way, which was more convenient for me, is I picked them up out in our woods. But I want to give you a little warning that these pine cones that fall off these trees, they have little creepy crawlies that live inside of them. So you do not want to bring in a lot of pine cones in your house and leave them and let those little creatures crawl into your house and into your carpet and all of that. So you're saying, well, how can I avoid that? Well, you've got to, pardon the harsh word, but you've got to kill the bugs. And there's several ways you can do it. What I did was I submerged them in a solution that was 2 parts water to 1 part vinegar and left it for 30 minutes. Now don't be alarmed, because after they've been wet like that, they're going to close up like a flower closes up. But then you just put them aside, let them dry 2 or 3 days, and then they'll open up again. And I put the sweet gum balls in with them too. Now there are other ways. You can look online, just Just do a search for how to kill bugs in pine cones, and you will see all the other different methods that you can use. That's just the one I picked. So my pine cones are all clean, and what I have here is my sweet gum balls. These are one of my favorites. And I have glue. I'll squirt some glue out here. Well, it would help if I opened the top. Well, not that top. That'd be all the glue. Let's open this top. Okay, here we go. Oh, that's going to be kind of slow. Let's try this. Watch the whole cap come off. You know what? I'm just going to take the big cap off. Nobody's got time for glue to dribble. Okay, so I've got my glue. And move my hot glue gun over here. I've got my glitter. Don't you just love bling? I do. Okay, here's a pine cone. All I'm going to do is touch it in the glue all around. Not seriously deeply rolling it, because the more glue you get, the longer it's going to take to dry. And it's going to be pretty no matter how you do it. You cannot do this the wrong way. You know, I'm really not somebody who does all these things perfectly. I just jump in. It's always fun. Okay, I've got glue on the ends of my petals of my pine cone. Now I'm going to kind of roll it in the glitter. Okay, you see what happens? Isn't that pretty? In a minute, I'm going to show you how to put a ribbon on the top and hang it from your tree. Or you could put them in a basket, a bunch of them, or a glass bowl. This is just such fun, easy Christmas decor. And you know what? It's pretty easy on the budget, which is important these days. Now I'm going to also do a sweet gum ball, which is a humble looking little thing until it gets glue and glitter on it. I'm wondering how many of you have already done this before? Maybe when you were a child, or maybe, oops, I broke the handle off that one. Let's get another one. Thank goodness they're falling off the trees every day. No shortage of sweet gum balls. Okay, here we go. Let me kind of smooth that out. Like I told you, I don't do everything perfectly, but I do have a good time. Okay, now, this is going to be as pretty as one of those mirrored balls they put in ballrooms. Okay, here we go. Okay, here's what the sweet gum ball looks like with glitter on it. And this is what my hands look like. Not too perfect, but just part of being a working girl with glue and glitter. Now, to hang them up, I've already got a couple here done to save your time. And what was done is I cut a length of ribbon and I just kind of measured it. You can't do this wrong. Just do it however you want to. And glued the center of the ribbon with a hot glue gun on the bottom of the pine cone. Can you see that? Tied it in a bow, and it's ready to hang on a limb on your tree. So festive, and if you have a rustic style at Christmas and want your Christmas tree to be a little rustic, that's just perfect. Now this is a sweet gum ball with the glitter that's already dry. I wanted to have these that were already dry because you need to let them dry before you try to put a ribbon on them. And this, I'm just going to tie a little ribbon. Now this is going to be fun, tying a ribbon with glue and glitter on my fingers, but you know, that's just part of it. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. My ribbon's going to certainly have some glitter on it. I just tied it around the stem. And then what I will do, when I'm ready to put it on the tree, I will just hold it up under the limb where I want it and tie a bow up here. You can do it ahead of time if you want to, so you can just slip it on the limb. It really doesn't matter. But you know, I bet if you have kids, they would have fun doing this. Of course, you want to be a little cautious with the glitter, because my saying is, once glitter in the house, always glitter in the house. But we're being careful here. You know, my bow is not turning out too well. I think I'll wait to tie it on the tree after I've gotten the glue off my fingers. But there you go. And you can snip off the top of this little handle if you want to. But I think those are just the cutest little sparkly balls. So I hope that you will think about, what can I do that's fun? This is something that you saw just took a few minutes, but then I have something to show for it. And it made me happy to do it. So until we meet again next Wednesday, I hope you'll think about wanting to do something creative, whether it's baking a cake, baking cookies, maybe you want to take an art lesson, maybe you want to take a pottery, whatever it is, go to the craft store, look at the kits they offer if you don't know where to start. And if you have children, encourage them in their creativity because they get a lot of joy out of it too. You know that if you've ever watched them with a paintbrush and paint. You might take them to the store and just let them walk up and down the aisles and see what catches their eye that makes them look interested. And that might be something you want to introduce them to. But thank you so much for being here. I'm looking forward to you being here next time. And until then, keep watching out for all the beauty that's in your life.